Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Yay, we
Woo!
made it, didn't we? Hey, it's chamber check-in time, and today I get to help share NeighborWorks Boise story, what they do, and they're 40 years here, and I have communications and community director Inga Hatter. Hi, Inga.
Hey, thanks for having me, Paul. Really excited for our conversation.
Absolutely. NeighborWorks Boise is one of those organizations that has been operating behind the scenes for many years and helping the
hmm
community in a myriad of different ways. And I can't wait to have you share those services and community opportunities. But first, I get to thank our series sponsor for these check-ins. And Inga, it's Delta Dental of Idaho. And as you know, Delta Dental has been bringing best-in-class dental insurance benefits to businesses for over 50 years. They've got some really great people that work there here locally, and we love their investment here in the community. With that, I'm going to share a fun factoid from their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
Delta Dental first introduced the HOW program 3 years ago. HOW, or Health Through Oral Wellness, is a patient-centered program that adds additional preventive benefits to those at high risk for dental disease. HOW benefits include additional cleanings, sealants, fluoride, as well as medicated mouth rinses and toothpastes. It's a definite differentiator in the marketplace for your employees.
And we all need differentiators to help retain our peeps. Yeah. Thank you, Delta Dental. So Inga, tell us a little bit about NeighborWorks Boise. Let's dive into their history. And then I'd love to hear a little bit about your work history and how you landed in with NeighborWorks as well.
Yes. So we are really excited to be celebrating our 40th year this year. I know. And as a nonprofit, we feel like that's, a real great, meaningful milestone. So we actually started 40 years ago with Paint the Town. That's how we got our start in the Vista neighborhood. And lots of people might not know that NeighborWorks Boise is actually a chartered member of NeighborWorks America. And so that's a congressionally appointed organization around community development and affordable housing. And I think they have an organization in every state. There's like 250 or so organizations. So we're a part of something really big with a really rich history. And a lot of it has been around really empowering residents and empowering neighbors, strengthening communities, revitalizing neighborhoods. So that's kind of how we got our start. Vista neighborhood, Paint the Town. We're about to start our 40th Paint the Town this year. But over those 40 years, we've really evolved, and a lot of people, know us for Paint the Town or Rake Up Boise, but don't know a lot of the other programs, services we provide. So I'm really excited for any opportunity I get to share more of those with the community, because that's why we're here. We're here to help the community, and with the current challenges, it makes some of what we offer even more, important to get the message out. So yeah, and I'm coming up on 2 years here at NeighborWorks. I have a degree in communications. I've always loved nonprofits. I come from Washington, and having this role here at NeighborWorks, getting to meet incredible community partners and all these folks that want to volunteer with our programs it's kind of like accelerated my love for Boise and Idaho, just because I'm getting to, interact and meet just the most generous folks. And I think that's a marker of this community. So I feel really grateful, not only to have landed here in the Treasure Valley, but to be at NeighborWorks Boise, which is just such an amazing organization that's just allowed me to meet folks that are really passionate about giving back to their community. So wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, I would say that housing is probably one of the most important things, and both mayors' State of the City addresses, from the Boise State of the City address to the City of Meridian's State of the City address that we've had this last couple of months, housing has been one of the number one things that they've talked about. And before we talk a little bit about some of the programs like Paint the Town, tell us a little bit about what are some of the projects that NeighborWorks Boise has been involved with, and give us some examples of some of that success.
Yeah. So, we really, it's a community effort to try to approach this affordability crisis, but we, are just trying to do our part. Over the years, that has looked like different things. Part of that is our new construction. So we have what's called pocket neighborhoods. We are starting our development of our 8th pocket neighborhood. And really it's a community concept. So there's a shared green space in the middle. It's kind of moderate density. So it's not what people might think when they hear affordable housing. Maybe they're picturing tons of units really close together, high rises, but it's a real, just they're beautiful homes, and they do have kind of that mixed affordability, because we believe affordable housing shouldn't mean substandard housing. So you can't really pick out like which one would be subsidized by grants or down payment assistance. It's all mixed. So we're really excited about that. And we are really, to add on to that, trying to even improve the affordability through launching a land trust this year. So that will be really kind of a way to keep that affordability sustainable in the long term. So we're really excited about that. We want to see people get into homes and, stay in their homes. So we have a lot of education to help equip healthy homeowners, because we want folks to be set up for success if they're wanting, to pursue home ownership. So that has looked like a lot of different things. We have home buyer education. We have HUD certified counselors that meet with clients for free. And a lot of folks don't know that we provide that. And that could be someone who just doesn't know where to start. Maybe they feel overwhelmed. Maybe their credit needs help. Maybe they need help with the budget. So we can sit down with them and just customize a plan for them and really take the time to get to know them. In fact, we have a client we've been working with for 2 years, because sometimes it is a long road. And and we also have lending that we're able to help with some financing. And he's closing on a home this month. So it's like a long journey sometimes, but really to have the privilege to get to really walk with people through that process. And we're just really here to help. So counseling, homebuyer education, like I mentioned, we have a whole lending department, and as a nonprofit, and we often have access to down payment assistance. And the really cool thing is, if we were to when we get profits from those loans, it goes right back into the community, because it helps support our work, affordability. So it really does set us apart, as the only nonprofit lender in the Treasure Valley. And then, like many folks, there's been challenging times over the last couple of years with COVID. So we've helped respond to that through mortgage assistance in partnership with the city of Boise, the city of Meridian. So that's part of helping people stay in their homes that might have been impacted financially and might have lost their home. But through that assistance, we were able to help folks stay in their homes. So yeah, lots of programs to get people in homes and then to stay in their homes. And that's, we have home repair programs. Maybe they wouldn't be able to afford to do those repairs on their own and would have to potentially lose their home. So kind of from the beginning to the end, we want to see people thrive in safe, secure, and stable housing. And so we have a lot of different programs that help support that.
I love the pocket home idea and the community kind of centered, because I was at the groundbreaking at the pocket community that's being developed right now, just on Fairview and Cole.
Yep, you got it. Yeah.
And it's how many units?
That will be our largest one, and that will have 39 units.
Wow. And each one of those units are custom built. And they're 2-bedroom, 1-bath, or are they all kind of different?
They're all different. Yeah. Different square footage, different number of bedrooms. There'll be some standalone cottages, and then some kind of like let's see, I'm pointing the wrong way, but the picture behind me,
yeah,
where that's our most recent one in Garden City. And so some have kind of the townhome shared look, and some will be standalone cottages, but a real mix visually too. And the neat thing about the Coal Bluff cottages on Cole and Fairview is we're really honoring the history of the school that was there through some of the architectural design and stuff. So we really try to, I think that's another unique thing about us as a developer. We really try to get to know the communities that we're coming into and get to know the neighbors so they feel a part of the process, hear their feedback, and really try to honor, what their hopes and wishes are for that space. Because sometimes there's some opinions about things coming into your neighborhood, and I understand that. So we really try our best to hear people's concerns and do our best to meet that.
Honoring the legacy of the communities. I think that's amazing. And I was there when we rang that bell.
Mm-hmm.
And that was special. And hey, let's talk about your people for a minute, Inga.
Yeah.
Recently, I know Bud was recognized, and then Michael was recognized. So help share with the viewers some of the fabulous people that you have.
Yeah, I thank you. So we recently celebrated our CEO. He was honored from the Idaho Business Review as one of the CEO of Influence, Bud Comfort. And so we're really proud. He just is that he's just the most humble and great leader, just doing a lot and without, wanting the recognition, but every once in a while it's good to get a little. So I'll toot his horn. And then, most recently, Michael Shepard, who oversees our multifamily units, which I haven't even talked about that yet, and our rehab program. He was honored as one of 10 icons for the Idaho Business Review, so the Icon Award, and just honoring his legacy. He's been with NeighborWorks first as a volunteer, board member, a total of 30 years. So He's been on staff for 10 of those, but just such a legacy of really investing in this community, so passionate about affordability and just the community in general. So yeah, it's been kind of fun to get a little love lately.
I bet. And you have some other just fantastic people that I got to meet during that groundbreaking at the Coal Bluffs groundbreaking event. And you have such a great team. And I'm sure over the years have attracted, talent because of the community efforts that NeighborWorks is passionate about. Hey, let's talk a little bit about the Paint the Town and Rake Up Boise.
Yes.
And I know you'd mentioned 40 years, and then tell us what's going on.
Yes. So this will be the 40th Paint the Town, and that's just the very heart of what we do. And so for those of you who don't know what Paint the Town is, it's just really community members saying, hey, like, we care about our neighbors, and there's some neighbors here that need some help. So volunteer teams come together and paint homes for senior, disabled, or veteran neighbors. Yep. Over the years, we have painted, well, not us, but our amazing volunteers, over 3,300 homes in Ada County. So, and then just to think behind each of those as a number, there's real humans who have a story, and I've only got, had the chance to meet a handful of them, but the people I've gotten to know, many of them have done a lot for others. And now, it's a time where they get to be on the receiving end of that. Often they're folks who feel maybe isolated or forgotten. And then just to have a team show up and say, you are part of our community, like, you're not alone. So it's really amazing and then the relationships that are built between the volunteers and the homeowners. There's countless stories of teams staying in touch. You just hear about Paint the Town, but often teams go back and, hey, reach out if you need anything. We'll help out around the house, or sometimes to Rake Up Boise will request to, rake for that same homeowner. So there's just this relationship, and Yeah, so it's just a really, really special thing to be a part of. I just consider it a privilege, and we have incredible partners as sponsors that help support it as well. Um, but just to see how many businesses here that's just a part of their culture. It's something that they've just decided, like, hey, this is really important to us. We're going to be about giving back to the community. It also provides an opportunity for team bonding, to go out and serve together. You can do trainings, you can do all sorts of stuff, and that has value, but there's not much that can really replace the value of going out and just serving together. So,
Yep.
And that's the same as Rake Up Boise. So volunteer teams obviously rake the yards of folks who just have a hard time doing it themselves. And those numbers are much higher. So I think last year we were close to 700 plus yards. Sometimes It's been up to like 1,200, excuse me, just depending on the year. So and I think we're always looking for more folks who want to be involved in both of those programs, whether that's as a volunteer or, like I mentioned before, coming in and helping sponsor. We try to give exposure to those partners too, to just show, hey, these are businesses, these are organizations that are putting their money where their mouth is and showing that they really care about this community. So yeah, super fun.
I'm going to throw your website here on the screen. It's scrolling on the bottom. You mentioned team building, and our chamber team puts together a group that we go and do Rake Up Boise. And I tell you what, it is so much fun on a Saturday morning to come out and help someone, and we work together and we laugh loudly and get dirty together, and it's just a fun way to impact the community you live in. Thanks for spawning Rake Up Boise and Paint the Town. And we talked a little bit about the housing piece of NeighborWorks and how it's helping people stay in their homes with educational content to help people get into a home, stay in their home, resources that may affect them to help them stay in their homes. And then we talked about a little bit about the development of communities, those pocket communities. What other programs, while we have you for a couple more minutes, would you like to educate the listeners on today?
Yeah, well, I think I was able to touch on a lot of them. I do want to mention, just the audience being business community here. We really would love to partner with folks who see how important housing is for their employees. And so we would really love to build more partnerships and find ways to collaborate, come in and have a homebuyer education class for your staff, for example, or, we can tailor courses to meet whatever needs you have. So maybe it's a financial fitness class or budgeting, or come in and just share some of our homeownership programs that we have, just because, that's a growing need. And so I would love to connect with anyone who wants to have that conversation about how we can partner with you and support employers to help support their employees.
Love it. Educational piece would be awesome and what a great opportunity to have your employees have that opportunity to learn more and how to get into a home and the resources you provide. It's all about education. There's some great causes out there, or there's many causes, and there's great nonprofits that support those causes. Hey, as a nonprofit, how can we help? How can we, as people, citizens, businesses, how can we help the organization?
Yes. So as I mentioned, we always are looking for more volunteers around Paint the Town and Rake Up Boise. So if you're interested in learning more about that, reach out to me. I would love to chat with you more. Around those two events, we have fundraising campaigns. Right now we're running what's called Buy a Bucket of paint. And the cool thing about those fundraisers is for every bucket you donate, you're entered in a drawing. We have more great community partners that donate prizes to just make it a little more enticing and fun. So you can find that information on our website. And like I mentioned before, we just want to grow we're built on partnerships. NeighborWorks Boise is. And so if any of this is ringing true as far as what we could help your business or organization with, we would just love to meet and connect and collaborate together.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Inga, I want to thank you for your time today.
Yes.
Congratulations on your team's recent accolades.
Thank you.
I love working with you, Inga. You've been an amazing person to communicate with, to collaborate with. Thank you for taking a little bit of time out to help share NeighborWorks Boise, and for your investment in the chamber and the greater community.
Thank you so much too for all you do and the chamber does to support nonprofits and local businesses. And it was great chatting with you.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend. Good luck with Paint the Town.
Thank you.